God is leading you to marry this person for a sacred purpose, and this message has found you not by accident, not by chance, but by divine timing. Open your heart as you read this, because heaven is speaking gently yet clearly, whispering truths that your soul has been longing to hear. This connection you are walking into is not just about romance, comfort, or companionship. It is about destiny. It is about alignment. It is about two souls being woven together for a reason far greater than what the eyes can see right now. Imagine threads of gold pulled from the loom of eternity, each one carrying the weight of prayers unanswered until this very moment. God Himself is the master weaver, and He has chosen you both to form a tapestry that will display His glory to the world. You may have wondered why your path felt so difficult before this person entered your life. Why relationships before them felt heavy, confusing, or unfinished. Why love sometimes felt like effort instead of peace. Those were not random storms, they were divine preparations. God allowed those seasons not to punish you, but to prepare you, like a blacksmith forging steel in the fire. Every disappointment refined your discernment, sharpening your ability to recognize true gold from fool's gold. Every heartbreak softened your spirit, making room for a love that flows like living water rather than a fleeting spark. Every lonely night taught you how to pray instead of beg, how to trust instead of chase, how to lean into the Father's embrace when human arms fell short. Now you are standing at the edge of something holy, polished and ready, with a heart that beats in rhythm with heaven's song. This person is not perfect, and neither are you. God is not joining perfection, He is joining purpose. Where you are weak, they carry strength, like pillars rising to support a temple. Where they struggle, you carry patience, a gentle rain nourishing parched ground. Where both of you fall short, grace will rise, an ocean wave washing away every flaw. This marriage is meant to be a shelter, not a battlefield, a sanctuary where vulnerability blooms into unbreakable bonds. A place of healing, not fear, where wounds from the past dissolve in the light of mutual forgiveness. A covenant where love is chosen daily, even when feelings are quiet, even when the world screams for you to walk away. Picture it, mornings filled with quiet prayers side by side, evenings wrapped in conversations that build rather than break. God sees what you cannot yet see. He sees the prayers you whispered when you thought no one was listening, those midnight cries echoing in the chambers of heaven. He sees the tears you wiped away quickly so others wouldn't notice, collected in His bottle as precious as jewels. He sees how deeply you love, how fiercely you protect, and how easily you give your heart once you trust. This person has been shaped by God in secret seasons too, hidden in the wilderness where pride was stripped away and faith took root. They have endured lessons that taught them humility, like Moses tending sheep before leading nations. Loyalty, forged in trials that tested their resolve. Surrender, learned at the foot of the cross when self-reliance crumbled. You are meeting not at the beginning of the journey, but at the point where both of you are ready, two arrows aimed at the same eternal target. This marriage is sacred because it will stretch you spiritually, expanding your capacity for the divine like yeast rising in dough. Together, you will learn how to forgive without keeping score, releasing offenses as birds set free from cages. You will learn how to speak truth without cruelty, words seasoned with grace like salt on fresh bread. You will learn how to pray together when words fail, hearts united in a symphony that moves mountains. God is not only building a home through you, He is building a testimony that echoes through generations. People will look at your union and see peace where chaos once lived, a calm sea after the storm. They will see patience where anger used to rule, fruits of the Spirit hanging low on the branches of your life. They will see growth, not perfection, vines climbing toward the sun, bearing fruit in every season. There will be moments when you question this path. That is human, a shadow passing over the sun. There will be days when silence feels louder than love, when responsibilities feel heavier than romance, like carrying water uphill in the heat. In those moments, remember this message, etched on your heart like stone tablets. Remember that God does not call you into something without also sustaining you within it, His right hand upholding you as promised in Isaiah. This marriage is not meant to drain you, it is meant to refine you, purifying gold through fire until it shines with heavenly luster. Lean into Him, and He will renew your strength, making you soar on wings like eagles. God is leading you to marry this person because together you will break cycles, ancient chains of fear, abandonment, emotional distance, and generational pain snapping like dry twigs underfoot. Your home will feel different, a lighthouse piercing the fog of broken families around you. It will feel safe, walls built not of stone but of trust and unwavering commitment. It will feel intentional, every decision prayed over, every corner infused with purpose. Even your arguments will be guided toward resolution, not destruction, bridges rebuilt stronger after the flood. Even your disagreements will teach you how to listen, not how to wound, ears attuned to the Father's wisdom speaking through your spouse. This union is also meant to teach you patience with timing, a lesson as old as Abraham waiting for Isaac. Not everything will unfold at once, some blessings will arrive slowly, but they will arrive deeply, roots delving into rich soil. God values roots more than speed, planting you in ground that will hold through storms of life, financial pressures, health trials, or unseen battles. Do not rush what God is carefully establishing, haste makes waste, but waiting on Him brings the harvest in abundance. Trust that every delay is a setup for a greater display of His power. There is a reason peace keeps returning when you think about this person, even after doubt tries to speak louder, a peace that surpasses understanding, guarding your heart and mind as Philippians describes. There is a reason your spirit feels seen, not just desired, soul recognizing soul in a divine mirror. There is a reason you can imagine growing old together, not just falling in love quickly, silver hair intertwined, hands wrinkled but clasped, stories of God's faithfulness spilling from your lips. These are confirmations whispered by God, not illusions created by emotion, holy signposts lighting your path. This marriage will require obedience, the quiet revolution of the heart. Obedience to choose love when pride wants control, laying down your crown like Christ in the garden. Obedience to choose humility when ego wants victory, washing feet instead of demanding thrones. Obedience to trust God when outcomes feel uncertain, stepping into the unknown like Peter on the water. But obedience will unlock favor, rivers of living water flowing freely. Doors will open that you did not force, opportunities blooming like roses in desert sand. Protection will surround you in ways you do not notice immediately, angels encamped as the psalmist sang. Provision will come when you least expect it, manna from heaven tailored to your needs. God is not only blessing your union for you, He is blessing it for others, ripples expanding across a still pond. Your marriage will speak hope into weary hearts, a beacon for the forlorn. It will remind people that love can be gentle, faithful, and God-centered, not the fleeting fire of the world, but the steady flame of eternity. You will unknowingly answer prayers for others just by living out your commitment with sincerity, your lives a living epistle read by all. Friends will find courage in your fidelity. Children, yours or others, will learn what covenant means. Even strangers drawn to your testimony will glimpse heaven's design for oneness. Let me paint a fuller picture of what awaits. Envision your first shared home, simple yet sacred, walls echoing with laughter that chases shadows away. Mornings begin with scripture, voices blending in harmony, inviting God's presence before coffee even brews. Challenges will come, bills stacking like storm clouds, misunderstandings flickering like distant lightning, but you'll face them hand in hand, prayer your umbrella, faith your anchor. You'll celebrate milestones, anniversaries marked not by extravagance but by vows renewed under starlit skies, remembering the divine timing that brought you here. Your spiritual growth together will be profound. Imagine late-night prayers where burdens lift like fog at dawn, revelations unfolding as you seek His face united. You'll study the Word, uncovering treasures hidden for couples like you, truths from Song of Solomon about love's delight, from Ephesians about mutual submission as unto the Lord. Conflicts will transform into classrooms, that sharp word becomes a lesson in gentleness, that unmet expectation a tutorial in grace. God will use your union to heal old wounds, perhaps the abandonment you felt as a child, mirrored in your partner's past, both mended in the Father's love. Breaking cycles means more than personal victory, it's legacy building. Generational curses of divorce, addiction, or bitterness halt at your doorstep. Your children, if God blesses you with them, will grow in a home where Jesus is the center, not circumstances. They'll learn to love fiercely because they see it modeled, daddies praying over scraped knees, mommies whispering affirmations of worth. Even without children, your influence ripples, nieces, nephews, young couples in your circle absorbing the blueprint of godly marriage. Patience with timing extends to dreams deferred. That ministry you feel stirring. It blooms through your partnership, voices amplified in unity. Financial stability arrives not overnight but through faithful stewardship, seed sown in tithing and trust yielding bountiful crops. Health trials test but refine, emerging with testimonies that draw souls to Christ. God orchestrates it all, turning waiting rooms into worship halls. Peace as confirmation is no small thing. When chaos swirls, job loss, family strife, that inner shalom settles like dew, a divine kiss on your forehead. Your spirit feels seen because God designed complementarity, your dreams align with their gifts, visions interlocking like puzzle pieces from heaven. Imagining old age together. That's prophetic, rocking chairs on a porch, recounting miracles, hands tracing the map of a life well lived in obedience. Obedience unlocks the extraordinary. Choosing love over pride means promotions follow, as unity pleases the Lord. Humility in conflict invites wisdom from above, resolving issues before they fester. Trusting uncertain outcomes. Watch God part Red Seas in your story, relocations smoothed, dreams funded, peace pervasive. Favor manifests, unexpected inheritances, divine connections, protection in travel or trials. For others, your marriage becomes a sermon without words. The single mother watching weeps in hope. The divorced friend sees restoration possible. Your social media glimpses, candid joy, prayer snippets, inspire thousands, algorithms favoring authenticity rooted in God. You're not perfect influencers, you're yielded vessels, glory reflected. If fear rises, place it back in God's hands. Fear does not come from Him, but from the enemy whispering lies. If confusion appears, seek Him together. Confusion cannot survive where prayer lives, light dispelling darkness. If the past tries to follow you into this future, old flames flickering, regrets haunting, remember that God has already closed those doors, slamming them with resurrection power. What is ahead of you requires both hands free, unburdened for the race marked out. This message is not asking you to be fearless, it is asking you to be faithful, and there is a quiet but powerful difference between the two. Fearlessness suggests the absence of trembling, but faithfulness means you move even when your hands shake. It means you rise each morning and place one obedient step in front of the other, trusting that God sees the full road even when you can only see the next stone beneath your feet. Like Noah, you are called to build while others laugh, to obey while questions hang in the air unanswered. He did not have blueprints for the rain, nor proof that the flood would come, only a word from God and a heart willing to believe it was enough. In the same way, you are not asked to solve every problem ahead of time. God will handle what you cannot, the storms that form without warning, the doubts that creep in at midnight, the logistics that feel too heavy to carry alone. Your role is simpler and harder at the same time, to walk forward with a willing heart, open hands, and a spirit that says, "Here I am." You are called to love deeply, not cautiously, not halfway, but with the kind of love that mirrors Christ's love for the church. This love does not keep score or hold escape routes. It stays when feelings fluctuate and roots itself in covenant rather than convenience. It chooses patience when irritation would be easier, gentleness when pride wants to speak louder. You are invited to speak kindly, to let your words become like honeycombs, dripping sweetness even in moments of disagreement. Kind words do not mean weak words, they are strong enough to heal, to soften, to rebuild what stress tries to tear down. Your voice will become a place of safety, a shelter your spouse can rest under when the world has been unkind. Pray often, not as a ritual, but as a lifeline. Prayer will be the quiet thread stitching your days together, the unseen strength holding you steady. Pray when you wake, pray when you are unsure, pray when joy overflows and when sorrow feels too heavy to name. Prayer will remind you that you are never carrying this calling alone. Forgive quickly, again and again, not because wounds do not matter, but because love matters more. 70 times 7 is not a number to count, it is a posture of the heart that refuses to let bitterness build a home. Celebrate growth, even when it comes slowly. Applaud the small victories, the tiny changes, the moments where effort shows up even if perfection does not. Like a gardener watching sprouts push through stubborn soil, you will learn to cheer every inch of progress, trusting that God is working beneath the surface long before fruit is visible. Open this not just with your eyes, but with your soul. Let these words seep deep into your marrow, into the hidden corners where fear has crouched in shadows and hope has waited patiently, like a seed beneath winter soil. God is leading you to marry this person, not by accident, not by fleeting emotion, but by divine design. Together, your lives will glorify Him in ways that whisper rather than shout, in the quiet rhythms of everyday grace. Picture it, glory blooming in shared laughter over ordinary moments, like the way a spilled coffee becomes a story you retell for years. Glory in burnt dinners that transform into inside jokes, sealing your bond with humor only the two of you understand. Glory in spontaneous dances in the kitchen, where a favorite song plays softly, and for a few precious minutes, worries dissolve like morning mist under the sun. This glory will shine brightest through strength forged in difficult seasons. When grief arrives uninvited, perhaps the loss of a dream, a loved one, or an unexpected trial, you'll learn to hold each other up instead of pulling away. Your faith will be fortified in those moments, like ancient walls that stand firm not because they never tremble, but because they rest on the unmovable rock of ages. Scripture echoes this truth, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Psalm 127 verse 1. He is the architect here, crafting a union that withstands storms because it's anchored in Him. You'll discover resilience you didn't know you possessed, emerging not broken, but beautiful, scarred like gold refined in fire, glowing with His light. This love will be a love that chooses to stay, a covenant deeper than cultural fleeting romances. When fierce winds rise, those gales of doubt, misunderstanding, or external pressures that topple lesser bonds, yours will lean in, roots entwined and unyielding. Staying won't always feel heroic, often, it will resemble quiet perseverance. It might look like showing up on bone-tired days, when exhaustion whispers to give up. It could mean choosing understanding over the sharp satisfaction of being right, or forgiving when your heart aches for justice. Like sheep attuned to their shepherd's voice amid the flock's chaos, trust is leading. Recognize that gentle call, the nudge in your spirit that says, "This is the way, walk in it," Isaiah 30 verse 21. Trust the timing too, unfolding with the precision of a sunrise, gentle, sure, painting the sky in hues of promise after the longest night. Trust the God who has already proven faithful. He guided you through shadowed valleys where doubt loomed like giants, and lifted you to peaks of unexpected victory. He has not abandoned you yet, and he will not begin now. As Philippians 1 verse 6 assures, he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Every loose thread in your story, past heartbreaks, unanswered prayers, seasons of singleness, he weaves into a tapestry of wholeness. This is not mere chance, it's his hand at work, faithful to complete what he started. This is no ordinary relationship, it is a calling wrapped in love, a divine assignment disguised as matrimony, sacred work hidden in the folds of daily life. Breathe it in deeply, beloved, and let your future unfold with purpose rather than panic. Envision children playing in yards blessed by your prayers, their laughter echoing where worry once tried to take root. See ministries birth from your unity, not always from grand pulpits or spotlights, but from the intimacy of living rooms, where hearts gather around dinner tables for conversations that restore souls. Quiet talks over coffee, prayers lifted in the hush of evening, these will touch lives profoundly. Souls will be drawn to Christ through your shared testimony, not because your story gleams flawless, but because it's raw, honest, and anchored in grace. People will see redemption in your midst, a living parable of God's restorative power. You will travel to places God highlights on his map, sometimes just a few streets away where brokenness hides behind familiar doors, other times across oceans to lands your heart once only imagined. You will feel the gentle but persistent tug to go, to show up, to serve even when it disrupts your comfort. Together, you will learn that availability is a holy posture. Saying yes to divine interruptions will no longer feel like inconvenience but like invitation. In those moments, you will discover that obedience often opens doors you didn't even know you were praying for. Your steps will align with his timing, and what once felt uncertain will begin to feel purposeful, guided, and strangely peaceful. Intimacy between you will deepen far beyond what the world defines as closeness. It will not rush or demand, it will grow patiently, rooted in trust. Physical affection will be present, but it will be layered with something richer, shared silence, sacred laughter, prayers whispered when words fail. Your souls will intertwine like vines trained carefully along a trellis, growing upward rather than outward, strengthened by structure rather than restrained by it. Vulnerabilities will no longer feel like liabilities. They will be honored as sacred offerings, places where love kneels rather than judges. You will learn to hold each other's fears with tenderness, not trying to fix everything, simply staying present. Love will become a sanctuary where you are fully seen, flaws exposed, dreams spoken aloud, quirks embraced, and still fully accepted. There will be a quiet joy in knowing you don't have to perform to be loved. You already are. Holidays will take on a deeper texture, no longer rushed or hollow, but rich with meaning. Advent will slow you down, candles lit one by one as stories of the Incarnation are retold, reminding you that God enters the world gently, not forcefully. Easter will feel like more than a date on the calendar, it will be a celebration of resurrection hope that echoes in your own story, proof that what looks dead can rise again. Thanksgiving tables will groan under the weight of gratitude, not just food, but testimonies. You will remember where you came from, what you survived, and how grace carried you. These moments will stitch generations together. Children and elders alike will feel anchored in something steady, a faith passed down not through pressure but through example. Your home will become a place where stories are told, prayers are normal, and love feels safe. Extended family will notice the difference. Healing will quietly ripple outward as they watch how you treat one another. Old patterns, sharp words, silent resentments, unresolved wounds, will begin to lose their grip. Forgiveness, practiced daily, will rewrite histories that once felt immovable. Feuds that simmered for decades may soften under the influence of your grace-filled home, where faith is lived rather than preached. You want forced reconciliation, but your consistency will make space for it. You will become peacemakers not by denying pain, but by refusing to pass it down. Through patience, humility, and prayer, you will model what restoration can look like when love leads. Challenges will still come, because every sacred story includes a wilderness. There will be moments when comparison whispers lies, urging you to measure your journey against carefully curated images of others' lives. Highlight reels will try to convince you that you are behind, lacking, or missing something. Cultural pressure will push hard, treating love as disposable and commitment as conditional. Voices will suggest that leaving is easier than staying, that comfort matters more than covenant. But you will not be defenseless. You will be anchored in truth that steadies you when emotions fluctuate. You will remember that what God joins is not meant to be torn apart by impatience or fear. Wise elders will speak into your lives, offering perspective born from years of faithfulness. Their counsel will cut through confusion, reminding you that endurance is often where intimacy deepens. Accountability will be welcomed, not resented, guarding your union like something precious rather than fragile. Finances will not flourish through recklessness or luck alone, but through unity, wisdom, and discipline. You will learn to talk honestly about money without shame or secrecy. Debts will slowly dissolve like mist at dawn as stewardship replaces fear. You will budget prayerfully, give faithfully, and steward every resource with intention. Generosity will surprise you. As you open your hands, you will notice doors opening, sometimes in provision, sometimes in opportunity, sometimes in peace. Blessings will multiply not just in what you receive, but in what you are able to give. Health will be nurtured holistically. You will care for one another's bodies through nourishing meals and gentle encouragement, for souls through honest check-ins and grace-filled conversations, and for spirits through shared worship and prayer. You will notice how peace settles differently when you are aligned, no longer surface calm, but a deep current that carries you through storms. Rest will come easier. Sleep will feel sweeter when love feels safe. Your legacy will not be loud or flashy. It will glow quietly, drawing others without demanding attention. People will sense something different about your marriage, something they can't quite name. An otherworldly light will point beyond you to the source of it all. One day, grandchildren may sit at your feet, eyes wide, listening to stories of divine pursuit. They will hear how God orchestrated paths to cross, how faith bridged gaps that once seemed impossible. They will learn that love is not just a feeling that ignites and fades, but a choice renewed every morning. Through your life together, they will see a reflection of steadfast love, patient, forgiving, enduring. When your earthly work is complete, you will stand together in heaven's radiant halls, not boasting of perfection, but offering faithfulness. Crowns will be laid down, not earned by flawlessness, but by perseverance. Every tear wiped in secret, every prayer whispered in the dark, every moment you chose love over fear will be remembered. You will realize then how much each small act mattered, how obedience rippled further than you ever saw. Joy will not be loud, it will be overwhelming in its fullness. Heaven is not silent about this union. Even now, there is celebration stirring beyond what you can see. The one who shaped you both continues his work, refining hearts through private trials, teaching surrender in hidden places. Your intended is being prepared just as you are, softened, strengthened, stretched. There is no need to rush or force what God is already orchestrating. The altar ahead does not signal an ending, but a beginning, one rooted in purpose, not pressure. Step forward with assurance. Trust the process, the timing, the shaping. Say yes to the story God has been writing since before time began. Embrace the weaving, the preparation, the holy stretching that forms you into who you are meant to be. Your divine purpose awaits, not heavy with burden, but holy with promise. Walk in it slowly, faithfully, and watch glory unfold in ways far more beautiful than you imagined.